way to Quinney's bush, and yeah, just on the way here, this is just south of Amberley, we stopped at this cherry place. Quick stop at Springs Junction. Very soon I'm going to tell you the story about the scar under my arm, how I got it at Quinney's bush. Springs Junction, steak and cheese pie. 6 out of 10. Just arrived in Murchison. This is our last stop before finally getting to Quinney's bush. You'll see behind me is Natural Flames Experience. It's a rip-off, at least I think it is. It's $85. That's why we're not doing it. Here we are at Lake Rotoroa. Sandflies. If you come to Lake Rotoroa, sandfly repellent. Sandflies. Oh, they're everywhere. I'm gonna get back in the car. Not just sandflies, but a whole bunch of wasps. Friggin' wasps. Hey. We're here, Quinney's bush. So Quinney's bush opened up in the 1960s. I'm not sure exactly when. And originally, Quinney's bush camp was like a free camp. It was a free place to camp, and you actually made a donation. I'm not sure what the reason for that was, but it was very low tech and very old school type of a thing. They had basically two things. They had sack tows and flying foxes. A sack tow is when you tie a sack to a rope to a tractor. You put a kid on the sack, you put an adult on the tractor, and you pull the kid along, and it's like a ride. And the flying foxes that they made, there used to be a whole bunch of them all over this place. There used to be like 15, 20 of them. Heaps of them. And they were very old and rickety and, yes, kind of dangerous. I don't know the safety. What I do know is that following the health and safety law reforms of the 1980s here in New Zealand, all those flying foxes, all of them are now gone. They had two big ones, the flagship ones, out the front, and they have water slide there now instead. And those two big flagship flying foxes, they were the big ones, and those are the ones that all the kids wanted to ride. And I was riding one of them one day, and this was probably the last time that I ever got to use it before they got taken down. It must have been the early 1990s, or the late 1980s, I'm honestly not sure when it was. But you'd get off, and the flying fox would still be bouncing around a bit because, you know, it's suspended from a cable, so you'd get off and the thing was bouncing around, you know, and the seat on the cable on the flying fox would have sharp edges and stuff. So I jumped off this thing and the thing was bouncing around, and as it was bouncing back up, it cut under my arm. So this little horizontal scar you see under here was actually from the flying fox here, you know, one of the big ones here. It cut under my arm. It didn't even really hurt that much at the time, but it has formed into a somewhat nasty little scar. That was the original flying foxes, and we're only staying here for one night tonight, so I'm going to head out shortly to the swimming hole and have a quick swim before it gets freezing cold. Well, over there's the swimming hole. I'm going to go for a swim because we're here, and if I don't go for a swim, I'll regret it. So it has to be done. I'm getting used to it now. I'm gonna go on the slide now. I'm gonna make my way up there. So that's the flying fox. This is like the refurbished replacement of the old flying fox, which was incredibly dangerous. There's the closed water slide. Only open 2 PM to 4 PM in the summer. Had I known it was only open 2 to 4 PM, I would have been here earlier in the day. just saw was one of the originals, so they've actually kept and refurbished one of the original small ones. Fortunately, I didn't bring the Zooter scooter. Please do not climb over the fence. Hit eels with the baskets. Throw brittle scraps in to hurt the eels in any way. So where's the big fat one?
We don't know. Under the hill. Yeah, it likes to hide. It likes to Here it is.
I'm not going to touch them. They're slimy. I know what it's like to touch them. I didn't mention it earlier in the video, but it's Christmas Day! Last night was Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas!